Hey friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we're doing my February TBR. So January went well in regard to reading, but I definitely did not read my TBR, but you know, what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna continue making TBRs. I don't tend to stick to them, but I really like having them as a baseline. So we're gonna go into my February TBR. I am filming this a little early because I'm trying to get ahead, so I do still have a couple of days left in January to read some of these books, but this is just what I wanted to put on my TBR for February. As always, I'm going to be starting with some new releases. I do have an arc of one of the books that's coming out in February, so I'll probably read it in January, but I wanted to mention it. And I am going to be implementing a new thing in my TBRs for the next couple of months, so when I get to that I will let you know, but we're gonna start with new releases. So obviously I have to mention House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. I will be reading this as soon as it comes out, but it does come out in January. I did mention it in my January TBR, but I will be finishing it in February. It comes out on January 30th, and I will probably take more than a day to read it because it is a long book, so I will probably go into February. And I also wanted to mention it because we will be doing our live show for House of Flame and Shadow in February. I think it's on February 20th, I'm pretty sure, but I will leave the details in the description so you can check them out. I believe it will be on Zay from Witty Reads channel, so if you're reading House of Flame and Shadow, make sure to check out our live show on the 20th for all sorts of spoilery fun. The next new release that I want to mention, the one that I am getting an arc for, is Ashes of You by Catherine Cowles, which comes out on February 8th. This is the last book. I can't remember how many though, 5th, 6th book in the Lost and Found, that's what it's called, Lost and Found series. I have loved this series. I've given so many of them 5 stars, and this is the final book, and it's a nanny romance. It's age gap. I'm super hyped for it. Like I said, we'll be getting an arc. So arcs for this book came out on the 25th, which is actually today that I'm filming this, so I think I will be starting it tonight. So I'll probably finish it before February, but you should definitely pick it up because I know I'm gonna love it. Then the last new release that I have is Serpentine Valentine, I don't know how you say it, but it's Gianna Darling's new book. It is a sapphic romance and I am hyped for it. I love a sapphic romance. I really want to read more of them, and I really want to read more like darker, grittier sapphic romances, so I'm hyped to read this Medusa retelling, I'm pretty sure is what it is, from Gianna Darling. Plus I love Gianna Darling's writing, so Gianna Darling and sapphic is just gonna be chef's kiss. Those are the only 2 new releases that I have. In terms of other books that I want to read, I have Wanted, Wed, or Alive by Laura Pavlov and Willow Astor. This is a small town romance that has been on my TBR for a while, but the audiobooks are finally coming out for this series, which I am so excited for. This one, which I'm pretty sure is book 1 in the series, the audiobook should be coming out in February. I don't know exactly what day, but I will definitely be picking it up. The next one that I have is Sherwood by Sierra Simone. This is actually a novella, I believe, and this one is a Robin Hood retelling from Sierra Simone. I really, really want to read more from Sierra Simone. I've only read her Priest series, which I love. I love Saint. It was one of my top favorite books of last year, and I really want to read more from her because her writing is just gorgeous. Nobody writes like Sierra Simone, and I just want to experience more of her writing, and I want to try and read some more of her backlist. So I have this one on ebook, so I will be trying to get to that one. Next one that I want to read is Sincerely Your Inconvenient Wife by Julia Wolfe. This is book 2 in this series. I can't remember what this series is called, but I read book 1 and book 3, which were Dear Grumpy Boss and P.S. You're Intolerable, and I liked Dear Grumpy Boss, and I loved P.S. You're Intolerable. So this is book 2 in the series that I skipped in order to read P.S. You're Intolerable. And this one I believe is A Marriage of Convenience, and I just really want to read more from Julia Wolfe, especially because I loved P.S. You're Intolerable. So I'm really excited to read that one. I have the ebook for that one downloaded. Then a one that I want to read, a sports romance, is Sweet Spot by Rebecca Genshak. This one is actually a golf romance, and I saw that and I was like, I need to read this because I just think that's hilarious. hilarious. I think golf is stupid. Personally, I think it's very boring, but I'm intrigued to see how a golf romance would go because golf is boring. So hopefully I like this. I just am really intrigued. I don't know. I just wanted to read a romance, a sports romance that was not like one of the big sports, and I just think that's fascinating. Like, I've read so many hockey romances, so many football romances, so many baseball romances, so I was like, there are so many other sports. Golf. Then I have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sengu Mandana. Is that? I probably pronounced that very wrong. But this is one that I own physically, and I have the audiobook on hold from the library, and the hold should be coming in February, so I wanted to put it on my TBR. I have no idea what this is about. I think it's like a very cozy style read, and that just seems great. You know, February is like that weird, cold, not yet spring, still winter month, and I feel like a cozy read is like perfect for February, so I wanted to read that one. Then I have Beyond the Thistles by Samantha Young. I have just been dying to read this one recently. It's just like really been like on my mind, like I want to pick it up, and so I really am hoping to get to it in February. And then the last one that I have is The Alien's Prize by Zoe Draven. I have been wanting to read more Zoe Draven because I've read and love the Horde Kings of Drakkar series, and Avery from Ava's Romance Books and Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages here on YouTube and Neverland Pixie on Instagram, they are starting a alien romance book club, and this is the book that they're reading in February, so I want to join them and read it with them. And I'm hoping to be able to pick up the ebook for this one, so hopefully I love it, and I can experience some new Zoe Draven. So those are the last ones that I have written down in my notebook as like main ones that I want to read, but we're gonna get now into the new thing that I will be doing for the next couple of months, and that is picking a author out of this Taylor Swift popcorn bucket. So I am going to a Polycon, the book signing in, I believe it's April, May, June, in the spring/summer. I don't remember what month it is, but I want to read more authors that are going to a Polycon, and I say this every year in terms of book signings when I'm leading up to book signings, but then I never actually read the books. And so in order to get myself to read more of the authors, more of the books that are going to be there, I went through the list of all of the authors that are going to a Polycon, and I wrote down all of the ones that I'm interested in, all of the ones that I have read some before and I want to read more from, all of the new to me authors that seemed remotely interesting when I clicked on their names. I literally went through and scrolled through every single name that's going to a Polycon, clicked on them, went to their website, and looked and saw if any of them would be interesting to me, and I wrote their names down on Post-its in this bucket, and I will be picking out 2 each month leading up to a Polycon. So, and then reading a book by those 2 authors. And I might do a vlog. I might just mention them in my like end of month wrap up to make sure that I actually stick to this. But I am going to do this. I'm going to do it. It's gonna happen. So we're gonna pick 2 out of here and let's get started. Okay, that's the first one that we're pulling out. Okay, so this one is Lola Rock. So I have read before from Lola Rock, but she isn't one that has more books that I want to read. Her newest book actually, which is the only book from her that I haven't read from, is Red Fang Royal, and so I will be reading Red Fang Royal in February. And then let's pick a second one. That one. So this one is Jana McGregor. I don't know what books she writes. Obviously, I was interested in her in order to put her in this bucket, but I'm going to pick up my phone and go on Goodreads and see what books from her are intriguing to me and why I put her on this list in the first place. Okay, so it looks like Jana McGregor writes historical romances, so that's really exciting. I went on Hoopla and she has a couple of books on there. I know you can't see that very well. I have a couple of options. I have A Duke in Time, I have Rogue Most Wanted, I have Rules for Engaging the Earl, and I have Wild Wild Rake and The Luck of the Bride. So I'm gonna read a couple of their descriptions and see if any of them sound interesting to me, and I'll pick one and read one of her books. Okay, so from the descriptions that I've read of these books, I am thinking I'm going to try out Rogue Most Wanted. It's like book 5 in a series, but do I care? Not really. So I'm gonna try that one and see if I like it and give a new author a try. But yeah, that is the last book that is on my TBR. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it. Let me know down in the comments below if there are any books from authors going to a Polycon that I should read, or if you're going to a Polycon. And let me know if you've read any of the books that are on my TBR and if you recommend them, if you like them. But that's gonna be it for this video. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe, stick around, see more content from me, and leave me the clickboard emoji. I think there's a clickboard emoji, so leave me that one. And I hope that you have the absolute best day.